Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It's Elizabeth Eleanor with Pause, and today we're going to be talking about feelings. Feelings, feelings, feelings. The big F word that a lot of us have struggles with, right? Like, how do we feel? Are we allowed to feel? I know that I personally, when I was growing up, I'm just trying to see if anyone's watching. I'd love for you to say hi in the chat if you're watching live. Let me make sure I am on live. I'm there. If you're watching live, I'd love for you to say hi in the chat. If you're watching the replay, just put hashtag replay so we can come in and give you a wave. And if this is the first time you're watching, I'd love to just say hi because I haven't had the pleasure of meeting you. And if it's the first time you've been watching any of my stuff, then jump in and let's do all the stuff, right? Because there's a lot to unpack when you're being a magical woman and that you're choosing conscious relationships, because it's not what the world really wants from us. Let's face it. Let's face it, magical women, even though we're a lot safer than we used to be, magical women are still seen as out of the ordinary, right? We're not part of the tribe. There's a little bit of a disconnect when you start creating and manifesting, beyond what is normal and what other people think is safe. So if you step out of the lines, then people don't like it because now you're not in the tribe, right? You're looking different, you're experiencing things differently, and we're herd mentality. It's just the way we are as humans. We've got this herd mentality. And so let's do a bit of a dive into feelings, because I'd love for you to tell me in the chat, were you allowed to feel all of your big emotions when you were little? Like, who was given for all the big things, right? Feel the pain of being, not being allowed to play, someone not playing with you in the playground, or feeling all the joy and feeling all the elation and feeling all the, innocence and curiosity at something. Because I know I wasn't. I wasn't allowed to have my big emotions. And I think that I'm not unusual that a lot of us women weren't allowed, and most probably, well, actually men as well, because they weren't allowed to cry, right, and feel their emotions. Men don't cry, way back. And through that process, we start separating. We start going, oh, I'm too big. I've got too many big emotions, and so I need to start fitting into the box. I need to fit into the box like everybody else and start conforming and start coloring in the lines so that I look the same and I breathe the same and I act the same. Because don't step out of those lines because you don't want to look different, because that's not safe, right? And so emotions are a really big topic, because when we have, all of us have had emotional suppression, right? Where we've had to hold things back. Even our big excitement, like if you laugh too loud, or if you cry too loud, or any of those things, people feel uncomfortable around you. And it's because we've all been told as children to settle down, do as you're told, don't cry, stop being so loud, you'll go to your room if you don't start behaving, all of those things, right? And so we're suppressed emotionally, and we don't get the opportunity to really understand and work with our own emotions, because one of the things that I know, you know, I was a body worker for 25 years. I was a massage therapist. And, you know, I think it's quite normal these days, people understand that we suppress emotions, we suppress our feelings, and they get stuck in our body. And so then our body, depending on what the emotion, and you know, if you've got any sort of spiritual understanding, even if you're just sort of starting out, a lot of people have heard of Louise Hay and the books that she brought out with, you know, you can look up an emotion and see, you know, it might be in your shoulder or lower back. You know, lower back is not feeling supported, right? And so there's all of these different emotions that get stuck in different parts of your body, and we suppress them. And now the cells, so the cells were feeling them, but if we didn't allow it to come out and be an expression and release it, then now it's caught up in our body, right? And now our body doesn't feel safe. And what can happen through that process is, as we're suppressing those emotions, eventually what happens is we get to this point where those emotions get stored, and they you know, bubble up, and they bubble up, and they bubble up, and they go, I can't do this anymore, and bang, you have an emotional outburst, right? And something that you go, I don't even know where that came from. Why was I shouting at you? Or why was I bursting into tears when it was something that was so tiny? And it's because we don't know how to regulate those emotions, because we've never been taught as a culture, as a society, as, you know, in families. Depending on your culture, you know, like I just had the thought about Italians, right? They're very big emotional, you know, as a culture, they're very expressive, and they love their emotions, right? They're big and bold, and they love the big laughs. I've been around, there was a family that I was around for a while, and Giacomo, his name is. So Pamela, if you're watching, because I know that you do often watch the replays, Giacomo was Sicilian. And, you know, he was a big, powerful, emotional man, right? And he loved his big laughs, and he loved his bold, you know, curiosity, and all the things that was acceptable in that culture and in that society, right? So, but not necessarily if you've got English, or, you know, come from the UK in some way, some shape or form, there's a lot of suppression, a lot of emotional regulation, you know, and outbursts, even outbursts were not considered appropriate, right? And so it's finding emotional mastery. And, you know, when we have our unprocessed emotions, they get stuck, and they become cycles of fear and self-sabotage. Like, they actually get caught in the body and now become part of our identity. And we have this thing where we feel a feeling that is familiar but uncomfortable, so we suppress it again instead of allowing it out. And the other day, I don't know if I've shared it on here actually, but I have been doing 365 days of 365 days on YouTube. And I'm up to day 34. I've done every single day for 34 days. I've been on YouTube, right? And I don't know why I took the challenge up, but I did. And it just came naturally, and I decided that, yes, this is what I want to do. And it's been a real journey. It's been really good, because I'm noticing how I'm getting better and better at presenting and talking, and not doing the ums and ahs as much, though I still do it a little bit. And one of the things that I talked about yesterday was animal totems and can they change? Because I had an experience where and if you're interested in the YouTube, just put animal in the comments and I'll send it through to you. Because I had an experience where I moved, like I energetically aligned with a new totem. So I have an earth totem, which is a gecko, and my spiritual totem is a panther, black panther. And I remember when that happened because I was in this event and it was a 3-day event, right? And we were talking about this in Conscious Creator Circle this morning about change and feeling comfortable in the change, because change makes us feel unsafe, right? And in this process, I was learning some new information and I was feeling a bit, I could feel that rumble, right? Like, and I've been in touch with my emotions for a fair while now, right? I was suppressed as a child, but I learnt how to start expressing them and being able to feel comfortable with them and allowing them. And so because of that, that emotional maturity comes in where it's not these emotional outbursts anymore. It's going, this is what I'm feeling. Where am I feeling it? How am I feeling it? Do I need to release it? And this was one of those times in the Animal Totem Workshop because I could feel it bubbling. I could feel the uncomfortableness in my body where it was this real stretch. And I knew I'd been in this sort of thing before, so I knew that there was something coming up. It wasn't unfamiliar to me. And so I get to this point where it's bubbling and bubbling and bubbling, and I'm like, I just got to get out of this room. You know, there's too many people in the room, and as a gecko, one of my totem qualities is that I like one or two people as a group, but I'm not a big person on big groups. You know, like that's geckos hang around in by themselves. They're a bit alone, they're alone, or you'll see them in a pair or maybe sometimes 3. And so that's one of the qualities. And so here I was bubbling up, and I could feel it was just about to pop, right? And so I'm like, I need to pop somewhere else, not necessarily in this room. And so I got up in the middle of the event and I walked out, and I went out onto this piece of grass and I could feel what was happening was all emotion. It was all feeling. I could feel it bubbling up and it was suppressed. And so what I did was a process that I went through, and I teach it in Awaken the Lioness, which is a 90-day immersion course that I've got, and released this energy out of my womb, out of my base chakra, and just completely cleared it and allowed it to birth out. And so that energy was able to release out of my body, and so that changed the cycle. And through that cycle is the ability to, it's like opening a door and seeing a new room. So now I'm in a new room, right? So as soon as you release that energy, you get to experience the new room and get to explore what's in there. I was just saying to my CC clients about how we've been watching The Matrix, and we had a friend stay over for a couple of days on his way back home. He's been in Australia for 10 months. And he has just, he's on his way back home to Ireland, a young traveller, right? And he'd never seen The Matrix. So we were watching The Matrix. And one of the things that comes up in The Matrix is when they go and see the Oracle. And the Oracle says, you cannot see beyond a choice that you've made. So, if you've made a choice and you're holding on to all the emotion of that choice, now that's the door, right? And the door's closed. So until you decide to move out of that and open that door up, you can't see beyond, and you can't see that new room to explore what's in there. What are some of the things that you're holding onto that you weren't even aware of, right? And so that's what can happen when you release it. And that's what happened to me on that little grassy mount. Was I released the energy, and through that process, while I've got my eyes closed, I'm sitting there, and I can feel myself in, it's like birthing. When you're birthing this energy, and you open your eye, you come back, you can, all of a sudden you start hearing that there's other people around, or you notice it had started to rain, so there was a little bit like it was sprinkling. And I gently opened my eyes, and so before I opened my eyes, I saw the Black Panther and realized that I had just birthed my spiritual totem. And I opened my eyes as I felt the rain, and I opened my eyes, and here is my beautiful little black cat sitting right in front of me. And I look over, and all the people that were in the course had come out with me and had watched the whole thing, and I was totally oblivious because I was in my own space and own energy. And apparently my cat had come over and sat and done the whole process with me. So when you can be okay with your emotions, but how does that start, right? Like, how does it start? How do you start being okay with your emotions? Because I've got to say, if you were like me, I actually didn't even know what my emotions were because they had been so suppressed as a child that I wasn't aware of what I was allowed, to identify. I'm feeling something, so much in the mind instead of in the heart. And it's being able to recognize that and come back down into the heart and allow the feminine in, right? Allow that beautiful feminine energy. It's safe to feel feminine, to be in that creative energy, in the receiving energy, because femininity, the feminine is the receiving energy. You think about when we have sex. We're receiving, right? And so it's being okay and safe to feel those feelings. And that really starts with feeling safe. That really starts with identifying what you're feeling. And when you have unprocessed emotions, when you've got these energies stuck in your body, they're weighing you down to start with, right? So they're weighing you down, they're tethering you to the ground, so you feel a lot heavier, and this is depression, right? You're feeling heavy, weighted down with all this stuff that was part of the process of just allowing yourself to be human, is to be expressive, and you can have this is I'm all over the place today, but I want to share this too. This is one of the things that I've watched in the spiritual development industry, if you want to call it the industry, right? I've been doing this for 27 years, and I've watched things grow. And I remember, and I know people that are still stuck in this, is this place where it's like not okay to feel angry, because if you're angry, that means you're not spiritual, because it's all supposed to be love and light, right? What a load of crap. We're human beings, and being spiritual means emotional mastery, and that means when something pisses you off, then you feel that anger or that frustration or that power, right? That surge of aggression, like, it's so annoying, right? the mastery is being able to be aware that you're feeling that and not attached to it. Not see it as this is who I am. I'm an angry person or I'm an aggressive person. It's allowing that energy to be there and express it, because expression means letting it go, right? That's what emotional mastery is being able to have an expression, have a feeling, express that feeling, and then let it go. Because when you don't let it go, it gets stuck in your cells, and now it becomes dis-ease. And that heaviness. And bringing it into relationships. Now we're in relationship and we're attracting relationships that have got that same vibration. So now you're attracting a body mate rather than a soul mate. Because if you're stuck in all of these feelings, then think of that as a vibration, right? If you've got anger that you've suppressed because you didn't allow it. When I'm angry, people know it. Like, when I'm pissed off, I express that feeling. But it actually happens and it's gone within moments, because I've got this way of going, oh, I'm feeling totally annoyed at the moment, right? Like, just let myself feel annoyed, right? And then, because I've allowed it and expressed it like a wave, allow it to come in, allow it to go out, through that expression, I can then sit with okay, why am I feeling angry? Why am I frustrated? What am I going to do about it, right? Do I need to talk to someone about it? What do I need to process? How do I want to feel instead? Whatever it might be that comes up after that. But if you don't do that, then you're holding this energy and it's weighing you down, right? And so now what's happening is you've got this vibration. And the vibration has lowered your frequency, because now you're holding on to anger, sadness, fear, whatever it might be. So you might have been this beautiful soul that was up here vibrating this beautiful love frequency, but now you're holding this vibration and it's weighing you down. And so as you do that, those emotions now attract the same type of people. Either people that are also in fear with you, or people that are going to help that fear come out until it can be released. So you may build, you might have a relationship where you just keep repeating, I've found another narcissist. Like, how did that happen? Because the emotions are there and wanting to be released, of powerlessness, of fear, of doubt, of worry. And so we're holding these, and so the narcissist is doing its job. I'm here to bring all that up for you so you can release it, find your power again, and tell me to F off, right? So there's a lot to it. And how do you go about all this, right? How do you move those emotions? How do you feel them? How do you identify with them? How do you release them? All of those things are things that need to be identified first before that you can clear up your energy. And then through clearing up your energy, now you're starting to align with the soulmate, right? Now you're in that place where you've got this higher frequency, and you're up here and you're singing a beautiful tone, and this beautiful tone that's over here is going, oh, I see above the crowd, right? And this beautiful connection happens. Who's experienced that? Or who wants to experience that? Give me some love hearts and let me know. So this is why this month's monthly mixer, we're talking about unlocking the voice, right? The inner voice, not this voice, but the inner voice, that beautiful higher self, that soul energy. So we're unlocking the secrets of the inner voice, and that's by feeling safe. Internal safety. Anytime you consider that you're not good enough, like maybe I'm not good enough to find a beautiful partner that's going to love me and support me, and I can share all the beautiful moments with, because you've never experienced that before, right? So if that internal voice is saying, I'm not safe, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, then you're not going to be able to attract that beautiful partner. If you're listening to the feelings of fear and doubt in the world, well, all the good guys are gone, right? There's no good men anymore. I've missed the boat. Then that safety is again being validated that you're not safe. So what we're doing this month in our monthly mixer is called Unlock the Secrets to Your Inner Voice. And we're going to look at internal safety and feeling our feelings and allowing our feelings to be expressed. So if that's something that you feel like would resonate to you, if you're ready, even if you've got a partner, right? And I know that this little group, our little community, is full of people that are, some have got partners, some haven't got partners, some are looking, some have just broken up, right? Some don't want a partner, right? We're talking about conscious relationships. So this is not just about your relationship with a lover, right? This is about your relationship with your children. What are you sharing with your kids? Are you energetically transferring to them that feeling of not safe or not good enough? Because we talk energetically first. Our expression is energetic first, not our words and not even our actions, though both of them come into play. How is this affecting your work or your friendships? Have you got conscious relationships when it comes to friends, where you can both be completely transparent and you want to both grow, right? One's not holding you back. Have you got friends that are holding you back? Man, I know I've had to let go of some friends of my own that I really didn't want to. I didn't want to let go, but they were holding me back. And I know that I'm here to express my soul's journey. My soul has got a big journey to, that I've only just started. It's been okay feeling safe to change, and it's okay to express yourself and all of those things. So if you're interested, you want to attend our monthly mixer, which is our free event that we do every month, it's Unlock the Secrets to Your Inner Voice. So just put into the chat unlock and we will send you the link. And I will catch you next Tuesday. Take care.